Flashback. Who remembers Mac's Headroom? I wouldn't drink out of it because that's the cleanest I'm gonna get it, but that was a gift from Cool Stuff Toys, Jeff, right before he closed, so I'll never get rid of that. Catch the wave. Mama Mac's Headroom.
It's Morgan Freeman here. This episode of Crack It with Retro Collectibles is sponsored by, and in conjunction with, the godfather of diecast, the mysterious but generous Glenn Cowie, and the Cowie Diecast Museum, letting expensive diecast cars breathe since 2019.
We actually got a visitor about to pop by, Waved David. Dave messaged me. He said, oh, I'm at, he's close by anyway. He's picking up a prescription or something. Just said, are you home? I'll pop by. I said, yeah, come on by. That's what I like. See, before, I wouldn't have felt well for him to do that. Like, even though, yeah, like, I can't explain it. Like, I just wouldn't have felt, like, it wasn't only a physical thing, it was a mental thing. It was like, oh, what, you know, why is he coming over on a weekday type thing? Because I was just so tired. I didn't want to socialize or interact with anybody. So feels good to be actually, yeah, come on by. Even Giuliano, when he ran into me the other day, he said I seemed a lot more jovial and upbeat, like the guy that he remembers meeting. Oh, I didn't have my chapeau on. Something cool before we get into all that. So this is this week's hunt, okay? It just looks like a couple things, well, not the whole week, you know, from one day or whatever. But this is, what's unusual about this, guys, is see these 3 Hot Wheels right here? They are dead mint, okay? Those came in a box, like not a box, but Toys R Us got this big shipper. Like one of the display cardboard things full of Hot Wheels monster trucks. And it comes from the factory packed, okay? These things, a lot of them different toys, like Masters of the Universe gets them, stuff like that. We call them shippers. This one, they actually not only put monster trucks in it, but they packed it with older castings, like from in the past year, ones that are no longer on the pegs, and they're dead mint. Like the Barbie I just grabbed for somebody, but obviously you're not gonna leave that in the store, right? And they were crispy mint, like crisp mint. Never leave a gold Honda, JDM stuff's hot. I was just calling Dave to see if he's on his way by because I'm about to start shooting. I don't want to start shooting video in case YouTube is listening. I don't want to start pew video and all of a sudden he's here and I'm not talking to him because I'm in there because I don't know he's out here. So we're gonna wait a minute for him. I don't know who that is there, but he's trespassing. There he goes. He came up with a brilliant idea and I'm on board and we're gonna be doing it up. So this summer, and the cool thing is, it is such a good idea. Like, it blows my mind, but I'll tell you guys about it. So this summer, so we're getting some of those long tables that you see at like toy shows and stuff like that. And check this out. There he goes. Anyway, you know we're rich because we're monetized now and we have a mansion, right? But we got a lot of space here, and I'm just kidding. We totally rent this place. It's a big house with 2 big apartments in it. That's the garage. But the garage, it looks like you could live in. But all this space, what we're gonna do this summer and going into the summer, whenever, we're gonna do it every weekend, I think. We're gonna have our own sales. in between ODA shows, whatever. We're gonna sell stuff out there, and we're gonna have fun doing it. We're gonna give good deals, and like I'm envisioning having music because we got the stereo out here. If it rains, look what's over my head. Set some stuff up here. Hey, look at this. Yeah, porch. We were joking around talking about selling barbecue stuff and stuff, but we're not going to do anything like that. We don't want the health board shutting down the the Cowie Diecast Museum. So I am pumped about that. Sounds like a genius idea. It sounds fun. Like, we have a blast at the ODA show, and Dave said if you put a marketplace ad, yard sale, Hot Wheels, he said people will line up. It sounds like a blast. It sounds like fun. A lot of friends coming by, and because the ODA show, I have a blast even when I help one of these guys work. It's fun because you get to see all your buddies. So I'm looking forward to that. What a brilliant idea that is. He's got good ideas. He's got an entrepreneurial type of mind. He's a very good hustler, and in a good way. I don't mean hustle like hustle people out of their money. I mean hustle in a good way. He's a natural at it. And that, I cannot believe I did not think of something like that. And as soon as he started bringing it up, I said we could do it every single weekend. And if it rains, and he said, yeah, if it rains, that's what I was thinking. We're covered in. Anyway, guys, we don't know when Glenn's going to be home, so let's get at this. Oh, and about yesterday's video, guys, about me getting the big needle. It's actually funny because I was going to put on the thumbnail or in the title, Retro shoots up and then goes hunting or something like that, but I didn't want to do that. I thought it would have drawn the wrong attention. I know that wasn't an unboxing video, guys, and it talked about addiction. The reason I include some of that stuff sometimes is I know that I'm human and you guys are human. And I know amongst some of my retro maniacs, there must be some of us that struggle with this sort of stuff with addiction. There's gotta be. So if you do, you're not alone. And that's why I talk about my journey, and I want to give you hope. I've gotten messages from people saying that me talking about it, they enjoy hearing it because it gives them hope. That's why I show you that. That way you know. And it's possible to get clean. And there's treatments that work. Like that treatment works for me. And it works for another buddy that recently got on it. I'm not going to mention, but proud of them. So the back of this box, guys. Terlingua racing team, originally created in the mid-60s for a 200,000 acre ranch. Wow, the Terlingua racing team logo is certainly one of a kind. Carol Shelby said, you know, it would be kind of neat to use this as a racing team logo too. Shelby was developing the GT350R at the time. I believe, yeah, we did unbox one of those. And brought the first car to Green Valley Raceway near Dallas on February 14, 1965. Ken Miles drove the newly branded car designated the SR002. It was white with blue stripes and the first R model Shelby Mustang ever to race. So this ties in with the other one that we unboxed a while back. The SR002 won the race that day, and the Terlingua racing team logo was later used on the 1967 Jerry Titus car, which raced in the Trans Am series. Shelby wanted to use colors that would make the car different and show up really well on Trans Am grid. Shelby's designer Bill Neal immediately thought of yellow and black to represent their team in a city which was born. The bold color palette gave the Terlingua racing team one of the more popular and more recognizable cars of the day. But it sounds like it's more about this logo than it is about the car. But anyway, let's get into this. Now, I can tell by looking at this that this has been opened. Not by looking at the tape, it's obviously been opened by looking at the ends. But if the ends were perfect, I could tell this has been opened. You want to know how? I'll show you something you can spot. Greenlights, or at least the majority of modern ones, when you get them in the box like this, they have plastic that it's kind of like sandwich or saran wrap, actually saran wrap almost, over the front and back of the car where it connects with the plastic molding inside the box. It's probably to prevent something like strap damage from coming from the plastic. It's Greenlight's way of trying to prevent that from happening, would be my guess. By putting other plastic on it that might be made up of different chemicals. I have no idea. But all I know is that the Greenlights usually come with plastic. So I know this has been opened. Greenlights, always easy to unbox. And why is a wheel sitting on my lap? A wheel came off the car. It's not broken. Case of dry glue, it looks like, but we can fix that up. We have had that happen before. Now, my Miami Vice car, it was broken. This, not broken. So, nice and heavy, this guy. And it's actually got a strap holding the doors shut. Wild. Usually Greenlights don't have straps anywhere that I've seen. Usually. I'm not saying every time, don't kill me. This is from, thinking would this be older or newer because of that, but I'm having a hard time getting the date. Usually I can get the date easy. 2015. Okay. So, Terlingua racing team lost a tire. Oh, it just goes right back on. Okay. Okay, so it comes off easily, but it's not broken. Maybe just a little bit of putty or something to hold the tire on. Okay, so I will get that strap for Gleno because he wants the straps off this stuff. Okay. And this has a number. A lot of Greenlights have numbers. Glenn, as you know, gets lucky with numbers. I believe that is 0184, I believe. And this car is actually licensed under Shelby. It says on the bottom. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is examine for paint rash. And I will say, Greenlight Collectibles, they usually do great with the paint. I don't see a lot of paint rash with them. And this paint in particular is gorgeous. You could see how the stripes, see that? It's just a very nice coating. Well done. No paint rash. And there's those Terlingua Racing Team logos. They do really stand out. All the old livery, Goodyear, Castrol, all that. The familiar ones, the major ones. I love the wheels. They're the kind of like Bullet, but not quite. But the paint is gorgeous. Oh, I like the exhaust on it too. I'm picturing that sounding good. Bottom is detailed well. Okay, first thing we're going to check is the trunk. Usually early Ertls, the trunk doesn't open. Greenlights, the trunk's open, and they did a good job with putting... Now, you know what I'm going to say. We're going to see this under different lighting conditions as well on the look-see set. Okay, so don't worry if you can't see everything. Oh, the doors open beautifully. Now, Glenn has a Bullet Mustang by Greenlight, and it's a shame because it's a very low number, and he got it in the box. But the doors aren't lined up properly, and they don't close properly. They're way off. The one door doesn't open all the way. It's just a really bad... It's almost like it was made on a Friday, if you know what I mean. Greenlight's usually good with the interior details. Nice two-tone doors. You could see chrome accents. Door handle. Little peek inside. And again, whatever we don't see here, we're going to see under the different lighting conditions on the Retro Collectibles Look-See set. She looks good from the front. Now, Greenlight does the imitation hood pins. They actually look real enough that I used to check them. So they did a good job on that. And that logo does look good on the black hood. Eh? The yellow on the black. You wanted something that pops. It pops. Okay, the seats do actually move. They go forward and back. There's that wood grain steering wheel. Just a beautiful Mustang. And it stands out on the track. I'm not a big fan of yellow, but they wanted it to stand out on it. Ooh, that looks like the engine that is in Eleanor almost. My Shelby Collectibles Eleanor. It's got the same type filter on top. Similar, it doesn't have the yellow logo. And with the Greenlight, it's an engine bay that's fully plumb wired, all that. Got all the wires going to the distributor cap and then all to their places. Greenlight with the modern technology. They do pretty good usually with this stuff. And I noticed an antenna. Oh, and the antenna, does it... Sometimes they retract. Sometimes they don't. Hard to grab with my gloves. I think it does retract, but just not much. You know what? Screw it. I'm not going to do it. Oh, and it also has... Is that a seatbelt? Or what is that? It looks like seatbelts. It's odd because they come from the center console. I'll show you guys up there. Odd though. Okay, so let's look under that. That is nice. And that pops with the black and yellow. Okay. You know what time it is. I'm going to tell you guys what time it is. Come on. That would have sucked. I seen a body walking up the driveway and I thought it was Glenn, which would have meant video over. But no, it's the neighbor. I got a secret to tell you guys. I got to tell you before Glenn gets home. I have the car set up here. Glenn's actually a member. The way he got that car there, he's a member of the Terlingua racing team. For real. I'm sorry guys, I'm pathological and it's pretty clear that you need a shovel to talk to me. See, here's those better lighting conditions now. See, that's what we pay for with the light. Oh, sorry, I gotta get this out of the way. I just had this here earlier daydreaming. Wouldn't it be nice if I'm able to get enough in the stores that I could send one to one of my lucky retromaniacs? Just a pipe dream. You know I'm gonna try to do that. I left up Glenn's pictures in the background just because it kind of goes with little sister here. Or brother, guys. So we're just over here looking in from the Canadian side. Wow. Good job, Greenlight. I like the two-tone. And there is that trunk. Nothing to see in there, but they did put that plaid stuff in it. That vinyl laminate, whatever it's called. Get you right up here. We're going to come over here to the American side and get right up close. Yeah, see, right up close. That Retro Collectibles Look-See set. Doors, everything opens beautiful. No paint rash. And I will say again, that logo on the black hood, they wanted it to pop. It pops. Now let's just have a quick look-see. Come on, you look-see. You're really gonna do that? It's gonna do that. It is actually doing that to Retro Collectibles. So it's not gonna stay open. But that's okay, because Retro Collectibles has two hands. I like how it's even on the air cleaner. Very nice details. They did the card justice. I noticed that these companies, the die-cast companies, I don't know if it's intentional, but it probably is, but when they do something to commemorate something, a lot of time they do a great job of it. And in this case, they did a great job of it. Just like Greenlight, they did the Fall Guy truck and Bigfoot. They're the only ones that have done those. Well, Bigfoot, Franklin Mint made a smaller one. It was either Franklin Mint or Danbury Mint made a smaller model of it. But it seems like if they're the only ones that get the license for that particular casting, like the Fall Guy truck and Bigfoot, you guys have seen it. They're gorgeous. They knock it out of the park. And this Mustang is no different detail-wise. It's a nice one. It's not Bigfoot nice. I mean, but not much is. Like I said, Bigfoot and the Fall Guy truck for Greenlight, they nailed it. Impromptu photo shoot. Lining it up with Heat Score. The heat damaged Shelby Mustang. Just to get some photos. You guys remember that. If you missed that video, it's a couple back. I'll put a link in the prescription. So judging by the way it sits here, guys, I think it's going to do a nice photo shoot as well. Because every time I do one of these cars, I get still pictures. Yeah, I like how they color match the bumper too. It's not chrome. I don't know if they did that on every Mustang this year. I'm not a Mustang expert, but I believe they had chrome bumpers the majority. Again, not a Mustang expert, just a cool guy that likes die-cast cars and likes to share them with you. And one last look of that Terlingua Racing Team Mustang. I cannot believe you've made me do another one. Like, that's a perfectly good. How many are you going to make me do? That's just reckless, what you're making me do here. It's another notch under my belt. Like, I never meant to be this promiscuous with it. It's supposed to be an unboxing once in a while. Anyway, guys, these here, I hope I'm not saying too much. This is providing that we get enough of them here, of course. Like, if I don't get any more, obviously I cannot do this. But if enough go around, I have a good feeling, I suspect that they will. But this is not a guarantee. This depends on my hunting and how many come to my area. But I would love, just because it's a cool gift that kind of personifies this channel. It's different, pop culture-y. And this is the first casting of this, so it means it's the first time Hot Wheels has ever done this. I would love to convince Giuliano to customize me one in one of 18. Commission him. Because yeah, that's beyond my skill level. I did see guys do them though, and they look amazing, but I don't think I could do it. Maybe. They told me step by step what they used and how to do it. So maybe one day I'll try. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching once again and listening to me ramble about these cars. Man. Please do me a favor though. You know what I'm going to say. Please do me a favor. Take a baseball bat and smash the like button for me. Hit subscribe while you're at it. And share. And as always, guys, happy hunting.
This beat is stupid grimy. That's a KRAK kick. There's some open eye shit, open eyes when I spit. I get riled up like dogs around the postmaster. The dough stack up with no manner. Crack